Paper patient report forms get picked up from station. We deal with about 60 stations. Once it's unfolded, we'll put it in piles, and we'll always put the piles on separate ways so we know which stations are what. And the next stage is take a pile off and start putting them through the scanning machine, probably in batches of about 50. Obviously look at the machine and the system that we use and make sure that it's all okay before we accept it. Once we've accepted it, it goes into what we call verifier, which is there for when we go in to actually correct the data manually. And from there, we'll put them in archive boxes and we'll send them off to archive. And that's where they stay for 25 years.
The Electronic Patient Report Form, e-PRF, is the new system being implemented by the North East Ambulance Service to replace the current paper-based systems. At the start of a shift, individual crew members log on. Control dispatchers then send incident information to the Toughbook at the same time as Terrafix system. After arriving at the location, the e-PRF system allows crew members to record detailed clinical findings and treatment, forwarding handover information to receiving hospitals, GPs, and other relevant crews. e-PRF includes a number of mandatory and optional fields completed by crew members. e-PRF also offers a host of features beyond recording clinical details. These include a wide range of inbuilt reference tools, JR Calc treatment guidelines, BNF medication encyclopedia, peak flowchart information, address and contact details of every GP practice, and the Talkspace Health Professional Reference Guide. At the point of handover, an electronic signature is secured from an appropriate professional.
I think it's a really exciting further development of a long process of investment that the North East Ambulance Service has been making in improving patient care where it matters, which is face-to-face with patients. Clearly one of the big advantages of investing in the e-PRF system is that it will optimise the evidence that we have of the encounters between our professionals and patients, provide much better background and evidence for later investigation of anything that may have gone wrong. But particularly excitingly for me, I think, is that it builds upon the strategy that we've been adopting now for some years, which is to do our level best to deliver the right care in the right place at the right time for our patients.
The paper system works at the moment by a crew member will be dealing with a patient, complete a paper record of their clinical assessment and what care they've given, and then they'll give a copy of that to the next point of care.
In many ways it won't change staff's working day because they've still got to fill out an electronic piece of paperwork, so that will not change. Where it will change is further down the line, how we collate the data, how we analyse the data, and it'll also help our colleagues in hospital departments using the same systems and processes.
What's fantastic about the new system is that it actually gathers that information at that point of care whilst our paramedic is dealing with that patient and can actually transmit that clinical information even sometimes before the patient arrives at the next point of care, which can actually allow preparedness for the receiving place. In addition to that, we can actually interrogate that data live, so we could know on actually an hour-by-hour basis what sort of care our clinical staff are providing.
It's a little bit like, oh my God, how am I going to ever find my way around this? But after a couple of hours of using it, you tend to find if you work your way through it logically, and you know, there's things that you don't need to fill in, but that's like anything, isn't it?
You know, there's no sort of typical negativity in the NHS or in any job in general. There hasn't been like a sort of, well, it's good but it won't do this and it's not as good as the old system.
We can definitely log more information through here than we can on our paper PRFs, unless we wanted to sit and write A4 sheets of paper, which isn't practical on paper and or for time either.
99.9% of the feedback we've had is very, very positive. There's a number of reasons for that. Is that we've actually taken staff away from the operational duties to ensure that they're appropriately trained. The second one is the enthusiasm of the instructors. The instructors that we've picked, we had no idea how they would perform, but they've been absolutely fantastic. The staff attending, I can't praise staff highly enough in that a number of issues were identified which we expected, a number of problems, but what we didn't expect was staff to come up with the resolution to those problems. So not only did they identify problems, they actually gave us a solution.
Your finalised PRF is written out like a medical report. The machine does that for you. So the misuse of terminology is a thing of the past now. Handwriting's obviously issues are a thing of the past, and spelling issues and things. It's literally logging findings and let the machine put it into a medical report for you.
Staff are enthused, they're wanting to drive it forward, and they've taken ownership, which is fantastic as a manager.
The e-PRF system, revolutionising the recording of patients' information by crew members inside the North East Ambulance Service.